I actually came to JMU to be a media arts and design major, and through luck of the draw, I ended up taking a biogeography class with Dr. Amy Richert. I just fell in love with the course, and I decided I wanted to take a geography major. That was one of the first times I'd taken something that I realized that could be something I do for the rest of my life. I honestly didn't like geography when I was in high school. It was not my favorite class. I was probably the last one to finish every test. But when I came here and actually made the connection about how it could be used in the real world, how it's not just learning where maps put things, how it's not just where countries actually are, it was amazing to see how things actually tied together. I wanted to be able to help something in the world, decided that helping the environment might actually be a good calling for me. I started getting into a couple of random projects until I found one large one that I really was excited by. And this was under the direction of Dr. Christopher Bachman. So the big project I was working on was actually trying to look at algal blooms out in the ocean. And for instance, we have one in the Gulf of Mexico every year. It's an annually occurring event, and it keeps getting larger each year as well. So it's actually a problem where it is. It cuts down on the dissolved oxygen levels in the water, which are important for marine species, for manatees, for fish, for bivalves, and they can't survive in these areas. But instead, we could actually turn these into a fuel source and help do environmental remediation at the same time, help fix up these areas. So my project was to try and use GIS, which is Geographic Information Science, and turn this whole thing into a fuel source, trying to figure out how much potential energy is there. So the data we used actually came from NASA and NOAA. These are two large government corporations that are actually supplying us with free data that we could use in the project. The data was easily downloadable and put into the GIS. And from there, I just had to figure out how to tie the two together. It was something that I wanted to look at originally, but just as we went along, the project changed somewhat here and there until I finally was able to make some sort of really nice connection. It was a big epiphany one morning about 2 a.m. when I was able to connect the two and put the two together with a formula. Working in the lab here has been an amazing experience. Getting able to touch $300,000 microscopes in biology, or work with a bomb calorimeter or an ion chromatograph. Maybe we would go upstairs and do some hemocytometer counting, the cell counting, or we would blow up something, which was kind of fun. We'd blow up something in the bomb calorimeter, and you get to see the energy content from something. So of course, we get to goof around a little bit, but we also get to really learn something at the same time. These are just kind of things that we were able to do in the laboratory that we never would have been able to touch in a classroom experience normally. We were always learning how to do something new, but it was never like work at all. It wasn't like a job. It was just learning for the sake of learning. And we all wanted to be there. It wasn't that we had to be. It's amazing to see how everybody's so willing to help each other. Even if it's not actually for someone's own grades or their own projects, they're more than willing to come in and help out on a weekend even. There's definitely the possibility for any student here to be involved if they want to. There are professors that are working on their own projects, and on top of that, they're willing to work with you on something that you're interested in. When our professors were involved with us, they were involved when they needed to be and when we wanted them to be. They weren't ever pushing us to go any direction, but they definitely gave us the instruction we needed. Before coming into this, we didn't know how to use hardly any of these tools. But on a given day, we'd go upstairs and we'd learn. The professors here have been fantastic. Some of them have been like family to me. I've even described some of them as like brothers. It's an amazing place to be. The professors really do care about you and your personal life as well. I came from a much larger institution, and when I got here, it was a totally different experience. I wasn't a number any longer. They really do care about the student here. It's a gorgeous place to spend 4 years. They've had so many opportunities that they've given me here, and it's just a beautiful place to come to. I've just really enjoyed my time here at JMU. I'm going to miss this university a lot.